Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ruby and Roses podcast. My name is Addie and I am the artist and founder behind Ruby and Roses Yarn, and I am so excited to be filming today because not only am I filming from such an amazing space that it's the first time you've seen it, but I also just have so many incredible WIPs to share with you guys. I have a new cardigan cast on, a new sweater cast on, and a new blanket cast on. I have cast on itis to the extreme, you could say, and I'm just so excited because they're bringing me so much joy and the colors are just so perfect for this new season of life. So I'm just very excited. But anyways, I will chat about the background because I'm sure everyone is wanting to know what is up because I have so much space. It looks completely different from where I've been filming the last like 2-3 years. And that's because we've moved, which is just crazy. I still can't believe that we moved since last time. We weren't even looking for a house when I recorded last. It all kind of happened very quickly. So we decided to stay in Indiana for a few more years, and mostly because we have major decision paralysis when it comes to figuring out where we want to like end up. And so just because since I am a yarn dyer, we can, and my husband works with me full time, we can pretty much just pick wherever we want to go, which is incredible privilege, but something that's a little daunting when picking like where you want to end up for the next like 10 years. So anyways, we're in Indiana for a little bit longer, but with that comes a new house, a new art studio, and I'm just loving having so much room already, and just being able to curate just a beautiful stash. So this is all of my personal yarn, which I know is so much, but it just makes me so happy and brings me so much joy. And it's a space that like every time I come in here, and I just set it up yesterday, so literally I've been in here probably 10 times total, but every time I come in, it just makes me so excited because I see all the different colors and they're all just curated into their own sort of palettes. And I have so many plans, but I will chat about that when we get into like life updates and everything else at the end of the podcast, but just wanted to do a little bit of a chat about it at the beginning. But yeah, we'll get right into it. I have, like I said, so many new patterns to share with you guys, and I think I'll just start with my sweater cast on since I had it in my lap since we just finished taking the thumbnail photo. But I love this sweater, you guys. It is so beautiful. So if you've been here from the beginning, you will know that I knit a no frills sweater by Petite Knit a few years ago. I would say probably 2 or 3 years, and I love that sweater. Like, it is seriously my most worn knit, and I've had so many samples made in these 2 years. I've kind of knit, I don't know if I finished one other sweater, and that sweater I also wear a lot. But I don't really, I don't pull the other samples or sweaters that I've knit as much as I do these two. Well, I guess I have knit 2 sweaters, or maybe more since then. I don't really know. I cast on a lot of sweaters, but I don't really finish a lot of them. But anyways, so I love my no frills. And for those of you that don't know, no frills is a sweater that's designed by Petite Knit, and it uses a strand of fingering weight yarn, as well as a lace weight Suri silk blend. So this is one of my all-time favorite like styles of patterns, I guess. I love patterns that feature some silk. Suri. I just love Suri so much. It just adds such a beautiful halo to your projects, but I think the biggest reason why I love it is because it just blends colors in a way that is just impossible to get the same effect if I dyed the yarn this way. So I think that's why I just am completely enthralled with it, because I have a, this is one of the colors. I will show you a close-up so you can see what I mean. So these are like kind of opposites when it comes to like colors, and like color kind of spectrums. One's like a warm toned coral color with like a lot of pinks and oranges, and this one is very much cool tone lilac, lavender kind of purple. It has a little bit of lavender. I'd say it's mostly lilac though, because it's very cool tone. It doesn't have that like pink undertone to it. And it's just so pretty. So anyways, I dyed these 2 colors up, and I was like, you know what, these would be gorgeous in a no frills sweater. And I haven't knit one, like I said, in a few years. And not only is it the most wearable piece ever, like so wearable. And I know the Doppio sweater is something that's very similar to it. And it's a little bit thicker, but it's the same kind of vibe. A classic top-down raglan, stockinette stitch, perfect palette to get creative with colors. Okay, so I'll show you these. So this is my Beachcomber colorway. So this is a brand new color that I just released, and I love it so much. Like, this color is making me so happy. Let me see if I could get even closer. It has, like I said, a coral base, and the base is just so lovely. And it has a lot of really contrast, like high contrast speckles. So we have some aqua in there. We have some really beautiful navy blue that turns to like a dark indigo. It has sections of like eggplant purple. We have like neon yellows, ochre kind of yellow. And then it turns into like bright pinks that are like a reddish kind of pink. It's gorgeous. And then here we have, this is my Tarot colorway. So as you can see, let me see, it's not really showing up that true to color. Let me try really close. Guess it's kind of showing up, but it's a hard one to photograph and to film because it's so different. Oops, I just lost my sweater. But yeah, I'm filming, this chair is like super high. I need to get a different kind of chair for filming in here, but we literally just moved last week, and this is like one of my bar stool chairs. So it's a bit of a drop down, but I'm hoping that this will be fairly seamless. Since if you're new around here, I don't edit my podcast episodes, so they're super casual and super just all the behind the scenes things. But yes, this is the no frills, and I'm just loving this knit, and I want to show you what the fabric looks like when it's knit up. It is just so incredible. I have photos of this on my Instagram stories. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can see a better close-up. But it just is such a pretty effect. And we have a little lock and loop progress keeper on here. It's a hummingbird, which is my favorite bird ever. And it just makes me so happy seeing that as I knit. And so yeah, it's just super fun. And I am almost ready to split for the raglan. Oops, dropped some stitches. So I'm almost ready to split for the sleeves, I said raglan, split for the sleeves. I have, I think, about 8 increase rows left, so I'm getting close, but I put this project down to work on my cardigan because I've kind of been tag teaming going back and forth. So this one is really special to me because I have been knitting on this as we've been like dreaming about planning our Italy trip, which is coming up in just a few weeks. And Beachcomber was inspired by those beautiful like beaches in all over Italy, in the south of France, and just all in that like regions, just because I was like about to dye this colorway and I just couldn't, and the reason why I wanted to create it for this collection that I just launched, my Storyboard Collection, I really wanted to include something that was just very beachy, and obviously with the name Beachcomber, and I just had to just design something that was based off of like the Italy inspired beaches and France beaches, because we're going to Italy in a few weeks. So I was like looking at all of like my favorite like travel influencers and seeing like where they're going, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So I just love how a lot of the beach chairs are just this really vibrant coral. Like I feel like I have like this skein, like that kind of a really shockingly bright coral color, and I just really loved it. And I was like, that combined with the aqua and really bright blue waters, it's just, not only is it so like just, it's perfectly balanced in my opinion, but it's also just a super fun palette to work with. And then I did like little pops of like all the different colors from like all the different bathing suits you see from photos and things, and so I just really love this. So I'm definitely not taking this with me to Italy because this would be yeah, super warm obviously, but it's just kind of a fun like project to knit on and dream about our travels and things. So I'm loving this, and I have it in one of my baskets, which are super fun. And I was thinking about stocking these in the shop because I used to carry these and I haven't carried them for quite a while, and I've been getting a few requests, and as people see them on my stories, you guys ask me like where I got them, and it's crazy that like it's been so long ago that a lot of you don't remember me stocking them. And I was like, you know what, I really should bring these back. Like I miss having them because unfortunately our old apartment had these really like tall windows, and they also had like a transom, like a huge transom in the top that didn't really have a protective like blind or anything. And so it bleached a lot of my baskets, which I'm super bummed about. So I've gotten rid of probably like 8 baskets so far because all the color's gone. And there's still some color there, and I feel like if my aesthetic was a lot more pastel vibes, that they would fit in really well. But when you compare it to like this heavily saturated color, it just looks even worse. And so I'm like, oh, that's such a bummer. So I'm in need of baskets, and maybe you guys are in need of baskets, so I might restock them. So let me know in the comments if you want to see these baskets back. But anyways, so this is one that luckily was tucked away behind a chair, so it was safe, which makes me happy because I love all the pinks. But I am using, Beachcomber on Soft Rose and Taro on Rose Cloud. So this one is not a part of the collection. It's an exclusive colorway that's available for pre-order alongside the collection. And it's really funny because this is one of the best sellers out of the entire pre-order this week. So that is just really fun because this colorway is like just tailor-made for one of the other speckle colorways in the collection. I love it with Beachcomber, of course, but it also looks stunning with a beautiful periwinkle that we'll get to. Oh, well, I'm wearing it actually. I forgot that I have it on. But yes, I just think it looks beautiful with this sweater. So I'll get to this later, but yeah, I just love it so much. So I think that might be why it's so popular, but it's also just such a lovely shade. And I'm not a huge purple person. Like, I feel like you can kind of see the purples I love. I love like the really dark plum, really kind of almost burgundy, but not quite that red. Or I love like really ultraviolet purple, like just shockingly bright, like this cube. But I don't love like an electric violet color at all. And so I really have been gravitating towards just this light lilac color. I just feel like this is so timeless, so classic. I feel like we're seeing it everywhere these days. So it's just really fun to kind of incorporate that into one of my collections. So it's this pattern, and let's see. Then I will show you guys my cardigan. Let's see if I can grab it. Okay, there we go. So yes, I am knitting a cardigan, and I again have that in one of my baskets, and I am using 2 colorways that are also part of this new collection, which is super exciting. And they are my Early Riser colorway paired with Ice Queen on Suri silk. So again, I'm just obsessed with the Suri. And something I didn't mention about the no frills. So the no frills sweater that I have, that I've worn probably like not a ton in 2 to 3 years. I know I need to wear my knits more, but I would say maybe like 20-30 days. So I don't know if that sounds like a lot or not, but in that amount of time, it has kind of like almost like not felted, but it's kind of got a really big halo on it now, like as you're knitting with it. But my no frills sweater, it just looks like it's all the same fabric. Like it doesn't really look like there's a halo. It just kind of all like matted together. And I know Petite Knit makes like a mohair brush that you can like brush your knits with, and it kind of fluffs it back up. But I would never ever do that, like ever. I am obsessed with the look, and I just think it makes it look so just incredible. It looks blended, but it all looks like it's the same fiber, and it's the same like, I don't know what I'm trying to go for. Maybe I wear it next podcast episode. But anyways, after seeing that more and more, it's just like made me fall in love with adding Suri into all the things, because it not only is it the best blender, but it just, oh, it's so beautiful. And the silk glows. Like silk takes dye like nothing else. So anyways, I'm loving the process. And it's just super fun holding 2 strands together as you knit. Like there's just something about it. And I know it drives some people crazy, but for me, I just love that. So anyways, it's my Early Riser cardigan. And this one I can, I think, open up. Yep. I was hoping I wasn't mid-row. So this one I have a good amount of progress done on it. The rows are so long. I can only knit like 2 a day. So at this rate, I might split for the sleeves in a week or 2. But I'm only, let's see, I am 8 increased rows away from splitting for the sleeves on this one. So it's like 16 rows. So maybe 8 mornings as I drink my coffee, do my Bible time, and knit, I can finish that. But I'm really excited about it. So it just is such a fun colorway. I'll go ahead and show you. This is 2 skeins wound together. So a little trick I like to do when I'm knitting a sweater out of my yarn, something that's really funny that maybe, again, some of you out there do the same thing, but I feel like it's not something I've really heard of before. So I always grab multiple skeins from different dye lots. So when I'm going into the studio, I'll sometimes just grab like one dye lot that has like more blue in this colorway, and then one that has more yellow and pinks, and then I will just hold them together, and it just makes it more blended, more contrast, and it just has such a fun effect. So I guess if you want to do this with one of your sweaters, you could always leave a note in your order saying like, please pick, like divide my skeins in half and pick 2 different dye lots. Like I think that would be really fun. So that's kind of what I do. So I pick half of my, like this cardigan I think needs like 8 skeins or something. So I grabbed 4 skeins that are really blue and 4 that are really yellow, and I'm holding 2 together from each one, and it's really, really fun. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So because of that, I'm almost out of these 2 skeins. I only have like this amount of Ice Queen left, so that'll probably be just a few more rounds. I need to wind some more yarn. And then maybe about like 20 grams or so of each of the skeins. So I have a little bit more of that. But as soon as I'm out of these 2, I will go ahead and wind these next. And so these are just 2 100-gram skeins that I like twisted together, and I just keep it like this in this big chunk. So as I go to my stash to pull to wind for the next few, I know that I have 2 from each dye lot already sorted together for me, and I just grab these, wind them into cakes, and I'm good to go. And then I also just have like my skein of Ice Queen ready. And Ice Queen is super special to me for multiple reasons. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that this is not the first time that I've debuted my Ice Queen colorway. So I originally launched it along with my advent calendars this year, which was in, I think, end of March. And so I already like sold it along with the advent, and then once advent sold out in about a week, then I took the pre-order down and dyed them up. And I sold so many skeins of these, which was so sweet. And just like, I just love that you guys just love Ice Queen as much as I do. And I just wanted to sell it along with Advent because I already had created it for the Storyboard collection, but there was something about it, like I was like, I have to add this along with Advent's. Like we just have to make a way, like find a way to make it work logistically, because it's the perfect blending color, and I'm all about blending this year, as you can probably tell. But I just love like getting to blend different colors together, and advents are always something I do that's just crazy color. Like I literally pull out all the stops and create like 25 colorways that are all like ones that I would love full skeins in, and so I hope you guys love those. But anyways, I wanted to have this colorway not only to have it as an option for you guys to blend like really colorful palettes together to make it look more cohesive, but I also wanted to do it for slightly selfish reasons because I really want to knit with it. I'm going to be knitting a pinguono this year, and I wanted to have some more cloud for it. But along those same lines, it was already a part of my storyboard collection as I was developing that, and I just thought it looked beautiful with early riser, and it just creates the prettiest halo in this, and I can kind of show you what they look like, what it looks like up close. But there's just so many different like pops of color in here. It has like sections that are like that bright pink pop, has sage green, bright pinks, some neon yellow. So fun. And then I have a Hello Lavender Progress Keeper on here. This was, I think, Duomo. That was one of her, oops. Let me see, I'll put that here. So yes, I'm loving it. I am having so much fun with this knit. It is just so enjoyable. Again, it's stockinette stitch. It has a bit of an interesting construction, but I'm loving the button band on this one. It is just a beautiful, very classic button band, and the best thing is, in my opinion, is that it is so like tight. It does not like stretch and stretch and stretch. And then it's divided by this beautiful like pearl ridge there, and on the other side, so if it ever flips open, it is a twisted stitch. So I think that is such a nice detail. And then I opted for the I-cord edge, which I can't remember if I said or not. But so I'm just loving it. And it is it's a Japanese pattern, I think. And I have the hardest time remembering the name. I think it's Zakkuri. Yes. I think that's how you say it. Zakkuri Cardigan. I will have this link down below if you want to knit one yourself or find the pattern. But as you can see, it's just a very classic cardigan. I love how like the buttons look and the button bands with their little kind of indents. It kind of looked a little squiggly to me, which looked really fun. So yeah, it's just really cool. I already have my buttons, which I got this last Rhinebeck. I got these the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, which I just love. They're bright pink, and I just think it's going to like match this cardigan beautifully. Trying to have you see it in the light. So yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's just a perfect like pattern and yarn combo and button combo, and it just has me feeling so inspired. So that is this project. Let me see if there was anything else that I wanted to share about it. Well, this is kind of attached to a little bit of dream knitting, and I know I probably shouldn't allow myself to have a dream knitting section when I've cast on 3 new projects, and I feel like each episode we kind of restart, but I really love that because yeah, it's just so fun getting to start new things. And as a yarn dyer and just as someone that's always coming up with new color patterns and new palettes, it's just so hard to not cast things on because I just love the colorways I create so much, and it's just like so fun seeing them at the studio and obviously getting to dye these colorways for hours on end. But there's just something very special about actually getting to sit with it and knit with it and just be really like meditative about it, really like just kind of slow it down. So it's a very different kind of way of enjoying the colors versus dyeing them up. So with that though, what I want to knit is I want to knit like, I think it's called the Fleur top. I will link it down below right under this pattern if you want to check it out. But it's a beautiful lacy top, and it's like a short sleeve kind of cut. And it's very fitted, and it's all over lace panels, and they're very like small motifs, but it's all vertical, and I just love that look. I think it's so classic, so elegant, and I really want to knit with it in my minimalist colorway. So this is another colorway from my Storyboard collection, and it is one of my favorites. It is like a tonal colorway. However, it is dyed with so much attention to detail, so many different steps, so many different washes, a little bit of speckles, but not too much. And it's just so fun. So this is like my perfect sage green, which I feel like is the color of my soul these days. I am definitely in my green era. I feel like I am just doing everything green and I love this color. So I really want to knit that top and wear it with this cardigan. I think that would be the prettiest fit ever. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking about. And I don't know if you can kind of see, but it just matches it so well. So yeah, I could not recommend this combo enough. And I think the Ice Queen being held as like a strand along with Early Riser has just made everything a lot more kind of like cool toned. There's just a lot of lilac, a lot of sage green pops that just really glow, I feel like. And then it also made the neon yellow look a little bit more green. And I really love that. So I feel like it just really enhanced everything that I wanted this colorway to really bring to the table. And so I think minimalist just fits in perfectly with those. Maybe you can kind of see there, but it would just be such a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous look. So we shall see. Maybe Emily, if you're watching, maybe that's your next sample knit. Yeah, Emily of Delight Knits is the one that knit this sweater for me, and she is just like my right-hand girl when it comes to knitting things for the shop, for samples, and I just love all the things that she makes. So I guess I'll go ahead and chat about this sweater. This is the, I think, loop twist sweater or twist loop sweater by Other Loops. So it's kind of an interesting name. I'm probably never going to remember it exactly, but it will be linked down below. So check the description if you want to check out the pattern, but it is so lovely. I really, really, really love this pattern, and I love the yarn choice that we went with. It just makes the stitches really shine, and it's just so cozy. It literally, if you are wanting to feel like you're wearing a blanket and still look really cute, this is the sweater for you. I just think it's so perfect. So I have not blocked it yet, and she sent it to me unblocked. So as you can see, like the cable needs to be opened. The reason I haven't blocked it yet is, to be perfectly honest, I am just nervous. I'm nervous to block this thing because it is, I think, 10 skeins worth of yarn, because we decided to hold 3 strands of my soft rose base together. So I think that would make it about an Aran, almost bulky weight probably. And so it's a very dense, oh, I misspoke. We held 2 strands of soft rose and 1 strand of my rose gold base. So it has a little bit of sparkle in here. So yes, it was just really fun, but it's like the equivalent of like 10 skeins worth of yarn. So it is a hefty sweater. It is just really, it has incredible bounce, incredible stitch definition. And I just really didn't want to mess any of that up. And I just kind of want to open the cables up, kind of have it more of a relaxed fit. It's a little bit supposed to be like more over the shoulders. So right now you can kind of see that like it's not like tight on my neck at all, but it's kind of close. Like I'd rather it be a little bit like more of a boxed neck, because that's what really made me fall in love with this design in the first place, was just that really beautiful neckline. It's kind of like a straight line here. You can really see that ribbing, and then kind of goes into the back. So I think I can get all of those elements the way that I want with blocking, and I was supposed to do it yesterday, but yesterday, you guys, was actually my first like official just day off of, like, I know that sounds really funny. Like I've obviously had breaks where I take days off, but I feel like those days off were always like, okay, I'm kind of burning out. Like I've just been going. I just need to take a little bit of time. And there's just something different, I think, about saying like, okay, I'm taking an official day off that's pre-planned. Everyone knows I'm out. I'm not even looking on my phone. I'm not doing Instagram. I am literally just completely MIA. And it was really fun. And I was like, wow. So it was just, I've never really done that before. It's always like, well, I might be able to get a little work done here. I might like do a little bit of planning, dye like 1 set of yarn. Like I just kind of find ways of filling the cracks of time, I guess, with work. And it was just incredible. So highly would recommend if you're a yarn dyer or if you're not and you just need a break and are able to take one. It was just very lovely. So with that day off yesterday, I decided to put these shelves, like organize all of it. So basically, like, I guess I'll just kind of go on this rabbit trail, but basically is what I did is, this is a shelf I got from IKEA a few days ago, and it just arrived. And so we put it together like late the night before. So right when I woke up in the morning, I had an empty shelf and so much yarn everywhere to fill in. And it was just such a lovely experience. Like it was like the best day ever. It was just, yeah, exactly, I think, what I needed. I just feel so refreshed and so re-energized to continue with like the rest of the work that needs done with this collection and creating the new products that I'm working on and the new line that I have going, which I'll chat more about later. But it was just so refreshing, and I wanted to kind of like show you guys the cubes and just chat a little bit about it, because I'm so inspired and I just want to share that with you guys. But yeah, it was so fun. So basically I had like the cubes that you will have seen in my last like thumbnail kind of or background of the last spot that I recorded in, and it was like 4 cubes by 4 down. And so this is quite a bit bigger. And then I had a lot of yarn in our bedroom, because that was like stuff that I kind of purchased from other yarn dyers, and it was kind of my personal collection, whereas the one out front I had more staged from like leftovers from the projects I've had with my yarn, and it was much more like R&R yarn. And so I just dumped all of that together. I had the entire floor covered in yarn. It was so chaotic. Oh, it was so much. It was kind of hard to like get me started, because I was just so overwhelmed. Like, I don't know if you guys get that way, but like if there's too much of a mess around, like I feel like my brain just starts turning off, because it's just like way too much disaster. But anyways, pushed through that, got it done, and it was really fun, because I just was like, okay, I'm gonna do 2 things at once here. I'm going to sort through all these piles or sort through all this yarn and make piles, and I'm gonna sort it by different color patterns. So I have like chlorophyll green and mint, and then I have like emerald green in this corner, some of like my dark teals, like royal blues, etc. Kind of get the vibe. So I started sorting them into all these different areas. And then after I had all of my piles, I sorted everything through. The second thing that I did was go through each pile and not throw away. I didn't throw away yarn, I promise. Throw away from my stash and give it to a new new owner that will use it more than I ever would. And so it was just yarn that I was like, well, a lot of it was yarn that I dyed probably 2020, 2021. And I literally was like, oh, this is just the worst yarn. Like, I can't even look at it anymore, because I was like, why did I put this dye here? And why didn't I add more water? And this should have been, you know, X amount of mils instead of what I did. And I could just kind of like look, and I was like, oh, this is so bad. But then I was like, but I think it was really helpful though, because looking back at the things that or any artist, any of your past work, I think you could always look at it and be like, I could do better now, which hopefully all artists should be able to say that they could improve. And I guess that's a good thing, but I don't know. It's hard for me sometimes to see the beauty in like the growth process, but I know it's important. And there were a few skeins that I dyed from 2020, 2021, that even while they're not the best techniques, even while I could have done better with the color theory, they're just special because I have cool memories, and they are just things that like big moments happen behind those colorways. So I guess I was like, well, I'll keep those. Like, I still have my first skein of hand-dyed yarn that I dyed myself, but I don't have it out here. Obviously, it's in a closet because it's so bad. But anyways, I sorted everything and I got rid of 4 bins. So I have 4 bins that I will be destashing, and it's just so exciting. So like, I have so much more such a more curated feel with my collection of colorways that I think are just really fun. I have a lot of other dyers featured behind me, which is so cool. Things that I bought before I started dyeing my own yarn that I just really love and felt inspired by then and still do now. So anyways, it was super fun. So definitely recommend a little bit of spring cleaning if you have like just a big stash, and either you want to like figure out what you're not really loving anymore, or if you just want to kind of color code things, because I think that's so fun. Like, I am color coding my life right now. I color coded these shelves. I color coded our closet for the first time, which was amazing. I have all of like my favorite tops like in kind of a color rainbow order, and that just is bringing me so much joy. So anyways, color code your life. All right, back to my works in progress. So I have, my early riser cardigan, I have my beachcomber sweater, and then, you guys, I have the biggest project that I have been working on. I'm so excited for this blanket WIP. If you follow me on Instagram, you know exactly what I'm going to be sharing right now. But if you don't follow me on Instagram, I will be linking down below our brand new Discord group. So it is a place, I'll go ahead and show you my pattern first, and then I'll talk about the Discord group. There's like so many things to talk about with this WIP. This is gonna be probably like a 15-minute segment, so get ready. But yes, we have the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose, and it is all pinks. Isn't that so fun? It's kind of like stretching out. Let me try to hold it differently. Maybe like this. But I love this blanket so much. It just makes me so happy. Especially these 3 squares. Like, look at those 3 squares. And I also love this square. Like, those are my favorites. But I love them all. So for those of you, like I said, that don't follow me on Instagram, this is all of these colorways are ones that I will be dyeing every single month. So not these exact colorways, but basically this is a part of my new Color Wheel Club. So what the Color Wheel Club is it is going to be a collection of 180 new colorways that will be released over a 12-month period. So the first month was April. I had it dyed in February. Okay, so yes, the first month was in April, so it'll go into next March or April, I guess. I should know all these things. But it will be 180 new colorways divided over a 12-month period, and so that'll be 15 colorways each month. And they're all mini skeins. They're all completely one of a kind. So once I dye these colorways up, I'll never be able to recreate them. So they're just incredibly unique, just very, just completely one of a kind in every sense of the word. and it has just been the most incredible project. It has, I feel like, challenged me so much more than I would have thought, I feel like, in color theory and the colors that I choose from dyes and just all of these different things. I've learned so many lessons, so it's been a great, I think, advancement in my career, as well as just like something so fun and just a once in a lifetime thing, because it's so many colorways, so many, just that idea generation on a dime. It's just been very, very fun, and yeah, I'm just thrilled with it. So this is all of month 1. So these are the first 15 colorways, as well as this one, which was from the second month. And so it's just, yeah, so beautiful. So I will be starting with the pinks, which obviously we have pink. It'll kind of go from like pink, this is kind of like a broad description, but you'll get the feel of it. It'll go from like pink to red to like orange tangerine, yellow, greens, kind of like sea foams, blues, and then I'm gonna kind of fade into like really dark blues, and then it'll go into like kind of coastal vibes, I guess, very like blues, neutrals, kind of fade into like light purples, and then dark purple, and then like towards the end it'll be like the darkest, most true form of purple. And I'm just very excited. So that's gonna kind of be the vibe. So it'll be, that'll be like how it's divided for all 12 months. And then, so we have those 12 months, and I think it's gonna be really fun. So I am knitting, like I said, the Sweet Shop blanket. I am using a 10-gram set every single month, and I've actually saved 2 10-gram sets for me because I wanted to use 10 grams for my blanket. So each one of the colorways is a half of the square, so one of these triangles. And then the other 10 gram I have saved because I wanna have one of all 180 to just see at the end, because I think it'll be really fun to kind of have in my art studio here at home, where I sometimes go to like pull different kind of minis together. Like I kind of want to use it to be like, as I'm creating a new collection, to kind of see if there's one in particular that really stands out to me that I want to like develop or try to re-engineer into a full skein, because they are completely one of a kind. So I know there's going to be a lot that are going to be complete mysteries to me. I'll probably pull them out and be like, how did I do this? I don't know. But I think there's going to be somewhere I'm like, ooh, this gives me an idea to kind of maybe modify it a little bit. So I'm really excited. So I have those in a corner here, but I don't know how I got on that rabbit trail. I'm so like all over the place today. But yes, I love this one. So this is the Rose Club, or the Rose set. So that was month 1. My second set was Cerise, and that features a lot more reds. I'm looking at them now, but I'm not gonna show you that set because, for one, it's sold out. So I feel kind of bad sharing it because I know a lot of you are really bummed that you weren't able to snag one. And second, because I have them all arranged in the way that I am going to be knitting with them. So I have everything kind of like coordinated because I'm very, very obsessive with how I'm planning the order for this one. I have everything lined up perfectly in my mind. I have a lot of the different reds kind of sectioned off and everything. And I just kind of wanted it to fade from like pinks and then kind of have a larger section of pinks, and then like kind of have the reds kind of 1/3 of the way on the second row, if that makes sense, and then loop around. So I want it to be, so the way that I'm designing it is it's a blanket that will be like going in one direction like this, and then it'll just kind of build on itself and eventually go from like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, all the way down, as you can kind of tell. So I know there's some of you that are knitting this blanket and you're doing it like pinks in the corners and then fading like on the bias, I think is what that's called, which I think is also super fun and kind of a more eclectic look, which could be really cool. I'm just loving doing it like this because I think it'll just be just kind of the way that I designed it in my mind. So we have Rose Club, which is month 1, or Rose set, and then I'm going to be knitting with Cerise hopefully soon. I really want to cast it on, maybe tonight, if we don't decide to put up our television tonight. We just got a new picture TV, which I'm so excited about, and we're gonna probably put that up since it'll need to be like wall mounted. But if I have time in between, I might start knitting with the next ones because I'm really excited to pick this project back up. But we actually took this on our trip. We went to we went on like a cruise to like the Bahamas, and then had like one stop in like kind of the British Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands. It was just a really, really fun trip, but very, very different from our usual travel style, but it was super fun because it was just a very relaxing trip, and I got so much knitting time in, and I just knit this like in a week, which I know a lot of you guys in our Discord group are knitting this in like a week, and you guys have jobs and lives and everything, and I'm like, I'm probably such a slow knitter, but for me, like, having a week of doing nothing and accomplishing this in a week as my only thing, it just felt like such a goals moment. So anyways, but very much obsessed with my new blanket, and I'm so excited to share this each month as I watch it grow and just get to share the growth with you guys. Something I wanted to mention, so this month, so like this idea is one that I've had for, I'd say, about a year, which is probably one of the oldest ideas I've had that I haven't made happen. Yeah, so like I literally was thinking about it for a year. It had so many different kind of iterations as it grew throughout that year. My original rough draft was so silly, I'm not even gonna share it, but I'm really happy with where it ended up before it launched. I picked a quantity that I thought was incredibly ambitious. It felt like a risk to me because I was like, does anyone even want a color wheel club? Like, I don't even know if this is gonna land. Maybe I'm the only one that's like color wheel obsessed. And the response was overwhelming. Like, you guys loved it, and it just meant the world to me. So thank you if you purchased one. I am so grateful, and it just really, like, you have no idea how happy and inspired this project has made me, so thank you. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that amount of feedback and that amount of like sales coming in with the first like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. And it was funny because that morning Devin and I were like chatting about how many we think we're gonna sell, and he's always the optimist, I always very pessimistic. I'm like, I'm not gonna sell anything. But not really, that's just kind of my default setting. But I was like, I don't know, maybe like 30%, and he was like, okay, I think like 50% would be really cool, and that was kind of what he was thinking just based off Instagram likes and things. And we sold out in 3 hours. 3 hours. I was like shocked. So that was on the rosé set. And because I already had planned the 2 months of like this time, because I already planned my, I think it was like March and April dye schedule, which was when I was dyeing these minis. So I was like, wow, I can't increase quantity until at least 2 months from now, since I'd already filled it with the pre-order we did, reached capacity with my Downton Abbey pre-order that you guys will remember from last time, and then I was dyeing these minis. So the Suri set also sold out very quickly because I hadn't increased quantity, but after like receiving feedback from my Discord group and just hearing how everyone wanted more, and I was like, oh, I really want to be able to meet that need, and so we were chatting about quantities, and we were able to double the quantity, which just blows my mind because I would have never thought that. I was thinking 30% of the half quantity. So anyways, it's kind of been a whirlwind of a few weeks, and just such an incredible moment in this business to kind of look back on. I think it's gonna be so special. It is so special. So anyways, we have double the quantity coming for month 3, which will be coming in, actually I'm not gonna say when it'll be coming because we've reorganized our schedule a million times, but I think like end of June as of now. And so I'm really excited. So I started the first colorway in that yesterday, and I'll be doing 2 more colorways today after I'm done recording here. And so it fills my entire tables. Every single pan has minis in it, and it's only 1 mini skein color, 1 out of the 15 per month. So that just is blowing my mind. So anyways, I'm probably chatting about this for so long, but I feel like if you're a yarn dyer out there, you get how incredible it feels to like get to, I don't know, I just love increasing the amount that I'm able to make. It's just really fun. I guess I'm just such a producer when it comes to like my art and things, and it's just fun. So the next month is going to be all reds, no pinks at all. I only have 1 that is going to be kind of pink. The rest are going to be red. I'm going to try to go completely red and not have pinks in them, which is going to be kind of hard, but it'll also be easy in a way because I've already included all of my favorite shades of pink. So I know that they're all present. I'm really happy with the pinks and the way that they turned out. And I'll show you one for the next month. Okay, I have this one that I want to show you. So this will be coming in month 3. And like I said, we doubled the quantities. So I'm thinking they'll be in the shop for probably like a week, maybe 2 weeks. It just kind of depends. And so we'll see how fast they go. I don't know. But I have them available in 20-gram sets as well as 10-gram sets. So I'll show you these. These are the 2 minis that I'm adding in next. So this was a part of the Suri set, but I'm really happy with these 2. I can't wait to add them in to this section. Oops. Yeah, there we go. That'll be so fun. It'll go like this. And then I really am loving this color. So this is one from month 3 that I cannot wait. So I have 10 that are going to be, I have 10 colorways that are going to be really true reds coming. And then I have, I think, 2 coral shades. And then I have 3 that are like raspberry pink kind of colors. They're not like pink, but they're going to be like kind of raspberry red shades. One of them is pink though. Yesterday's was pink, but I'm going to do red. I promise. I'm going to be cutting all pink out of my life for the next month. But anyways, loving this WIP. And the Sweet Shop blanket is by Laura Penrose, fabulous designer. I love everything that she makes, and I really love this blanket pattern. I have one in the basket over here that you can't really see, but that was from last year's Advent that I'm knitting. And so I'm just completely obsessed with this pattern. She's very particular about details, which I love because I'm so obsessive myself, and it's just really fun. So yes, I think that was all I was going to share about this project. If you want to stay in the loop about when the next set is coming, if you want to hop in, I don't think it's too late because we're going to have some reds. So your reds are going to be a little bit smaller, but you could still join if you wanted to, or use it for a different project, or maybe buy a few. What you could do, this kind of a little off topic, but I'll go ahead and show you anyways. So I have, let me see, what's the best way to do this? Okay, so if you are seeing this pattern and you really want to knit one yourself, but you want to have a little bit of pink to start, there are 5 colorways from my Storyboard collection that you can purchase on full skeins, and then you can knit squares with them. So a full skein would do 10 of the triangles here. So you could either use like half a skein, maybe do 5 triangles and kind of mix and match to kind of catch back up if you want to have the same size blanket that I'll have at the end. That would be a great way to catch up. So you could pre-order your Storyboard Collection pinks now and then wait for month 3 to come out. And speaking of month 3, if you want to be notified when that launch is going to be, I'd recommend you sign up for our newsletter. So I put up newsletters maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, depending on what we have happening in the shop. And that's a great way to kind of stay with just the headlines if you want to just see what's coming and what pre-orders are working on and things like that. I'd highly recommend signing up for that, since we'll put a newsletter up when they're ready to go. But these are some of the pinks that we have. So I'll just kind of show you these. Okay. Let me see. I'm looking at the minis. Okay, yes, I have one more. Okay, I lied. I have 6 pinks that I think would be beautiful if you wanted to kind of make your own like rosé mini set bundle. Let me see if I can hold them. Wouldn't that be so fun? I think that would just be incredibly fun. And so I'll try to hold my blanket up. But as you can see, it's kind of a similar vibe, which I think could be really fun. So this would be a great way to kind of make your own start to the blanket. So we have On Repeat, Daydreamer, Diva, Spitfire, Wanderlust, and Couturier. And I just love these so much. So these would be really fun. Oops, I dropped one. These would be so fun for the pinks. And it's not too late to start. You can grab these and then maybe find a few reds or use the 10 reds that are coming and join in on the make along. Okay, put these down because yes, there's going to be a make along for this. We have one started and we will be hosting it, or I'll be hosting it on Discord. So that is where you can find all of the details for that. It's super casual, just a really fun way to get to see what everyone's making. I personally love the setup so much better than Ravelry. Maybe that's just because of the way the platform works. I feel like Ravelry is a little bit of an older website, even though I still love Ravelry, but I feel like it's just not the most user-friendly. And so I just love Discord. So it's been super fun. So we have a community of 500 makers. I think it's a little over 500 now, which is just crazy because we just started it like a month ago. And it is the most fun, welcoming space. I think it's just so inspiring, honestly. That was kind of what I was hoping it would turn into, and it has become the most inspiring platform of seeing all the different like blankets. So like, it has already made me want to cast on so many blankets. There's a few that I've screenshotted and I'm like, my next blanket is going to be this pattern. And funny that I say that because I literally have minis over here from Storyboard Collection that I am so close to casting on another blanket. So I might do that. But anyways, I blame it all on Discord because it's literally a thread of everyone sharing their blanket whips. So how could I not cast another one on? Anyways, it's so fun. So it's just like a lot of, yeah, if you want to meet some different makers and just see some other blanket patterns, we'd love to have you join. I will post like the invite down below under the Discord link in case you want to check it out and join us. But that is where the make-along is hosted. So we will be doing quarterly prizes and I'll be giving those away through the thread. And I also have a little, just like another announcements banner in the Discord thread or group, Discord something, that I will be posting like different announcements. So it's a great way to kind of, again, stay in the loop if that's your preferred platform to find information on. And so yeah, it's just really fun. And I just love like all the chatter. I just love all the chatter because I don't answer my DMs on Instagram very much or see them because there's just so many coming through. And I feel like they always kind of get pushed because if I'm on Instagram, I'm answering comments or I'm posting or I'm throwing stories up, I feel like, or just following along the other like influencers I love watching and things like that. And so I was really missing like that kind of one-on-one interaction that I used to have through DMs when I feel like I had more time. But I really love how Discord's kind of been filling that gap for me because it's really fun to get to see, like just to be a part of a conversation, but still kind of have that one-on-one connection. Like if someone asks me a question, I'll hopefully see it and be able to respond. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a really fun forum. So anyways, Discord down below, so much fun. And it is called the ColorHype Collective. And I think everyone there is so hyped about color and it just makes me happy. So those are my 3 works in progress. Oh, I do have one more whip. So this whip I completely forgot about because I was looking through last podcast to see what I shared and I haven't picked up any of the whips from last podcast except for one. So I will go ahead and share that with you. And I haven't worked on it a lot for probably about a month at this point just because my other sweaters have kind of stolen the spotlight and I've just been knitting on those. But I think I'll pick this pattern up at some point because I have not fallen out of love with the yarn or the pattern. It's simply been that new and shiny thing kind of coming on the scene that I have to knit with. But it is over here in my black pearl magic bag, which I love. I just think it's so cool. Just a very beautiful purple. So this is my Melange Sweater, again by Petite Knit. And this is using my Satin colorway, which was an exclusive colorway for my Downton Abbey box that I launched, I think, in January. So it was definitely a hot minute ago, but this one is just so beautiful. It's such a like dusty lilac neutral kind of color, which is really fun. And then I'll show you a close-up of the sweater. Yeah, there you go. You can see all those speckles. It is like the most colorful neutral ever, and I love that. It's just so fun. So yeah, very neutral from a distance, but then when you have like an up close peek at it, you see these flashes of yellows and corals and pinks and blues, and it's just really fun. So I think last time I had just like, I split for the sleeves a little bit before that, but it was kind of like around here, I think, when I checked it. YouTube video. So I only had maybe like 2 inches under the arms put together. And I have finished the ribbing, which I'm so pumped about. It's just really fun. So the ribbing, I went a little bit extra on. I feel like it's a little much, but it fits me really, really well. So I think it'll be really fun because I think if I did the ribbing a little bit shorter, it would have looked kind of cropped. And I feel like I wouldn't really love a cropped sweater with this style of knitwear. I really love a cropped, like I wear a lot of cropped shirts all the time, but they are always really oversized because I love wearing high-waisted jeans, a cropped tee, and I think it looks really cute. But I feel like I also just want my knitwear to be a little more timeless. I feel like there's so much time and money invested into each of these pieces, and it's just, yeah, so much energy. So I feel like I want to kind of use that well, and yeah, I wanted to make it a little bit longer. So I lengthened it a bit because I am a bit tall, and so I wanted it to have a little more length. And then I did the recommended amount of ribbing. So she recommends, I think, 3.5 inches of ribbing, which I feel like is a lot of ribbing. I don't know very many patterns that have that much ribbing, I feel like, but very, very fun. And it's super like pulled in. So this kind of is like right at my waist. And so that like fitted look, I think, is really, really pretty. And so yeah, I'm loving it. My gauge is super tight compared to hers, like super tight. Luckily it fits me really well. But I think hers is it almost kind of fits her like this, honestly, even though the fabric is so thin, but just that kind of like really boxy-ish look. And this one is very much more tight fitting, which I really love. So I'm really happy with it, and I love that the gauge is tighter because I think it just makes the yarn really shine. And I have picked up stitches for the sleeves, but I am so off on my stitch count for these sleeves. Like I think I have an extra like 12 stitches on the sleeves. And that's when I put it down because I was like, I think I put it down right as we were like busy looking at houses, doing the showings, and like or going to the showings or whatever, and then packing. And so I was like, I did not have the brain space to figure out like how I made that big of a mistake. But I don't know, I think is what I ended up doing. Yeah, I did my trick. So I always pick up a ton of stitches for the sleeves. That's just kind of how I roll typically, because I hate any sort of gap in the stitches. Like I'm really picky about like making sure it's a really seamless look. And then I always will pick up extras, typically like where the underarm stitches meet the raglan increases, the little gap on either side, and I'll typically pick up like 3 stitches for those, and then I'll knit those 3 stitches together in my first row. So I still have the same stitch count, but it just kind of makes that a little bit more closed in. So I went ahead and did that, and then I think I just knit 2 stitches together a few times around, but for some reason I think it was still off because I ended up putting it down anyways. So I think I was worried that it might pucker because I knit 2 stitches together like on the shoulder cap here, and then I knit like 2 stitches together like midway through here and like through on the other side. So I tried to kind of make them like evenly spaced, like as the circle, but I'm wondering if it's gonna like kind of pucker a little bit because it might not look like completely seamless. So I don't know, I might knit a few rows, see if it's noticeable once I found the correct stitch count, and then just go from there. We shall see, but I still love this pattern. I love the yarn. I just think it is such a beautiful, beautiful design, and I cannot wait to wear this because I really think this will be another one that I live in. And I just think it's fun. I feel like I definitely have like a vibe going with my sweaters. Very, very pastel-y. That's kind of funny. These look so similar. Pastel-y, but neutral, but very vibrant with a lot of bright pops and like jewel tone pops throughout. So anyways, very fun. I'll go ahead and put this back in my bag. And then I think that's all my WIPs, which is super exciting. So I shared, I got all of my WIPs in, talked about Colorway Club and all of those things. So now I'm going to be chatting about my new collection, which is super exciting. I can't believe that like last time I recorded was another collection, or like my last collection, and this is already another collection. It's just so exciting. I've just been feeling so creative lately, and it's just so exciting to think that like this is my second collection this year and it's not even June yet. just very exciting. I've been trying to kind of like create collections a little bit faster this year compared to last year, but it's been hard because I'm still so picky about my colors, and it's like I just keep doing more and more iterations, and I'm always pushing my deadlines back by like a month, but they're self-imposed anyway, so I know it's kind of hypothetical, but I don't know, I just think it's really fun that like we already have another collection coming up. And I love these colors. They're literally like the colors that I just want to drench my whole life in. I feel like it's fun to get to like the spring and summer months because that's my vibe. I love the bright colors, and it's my chance to get to like experiment with like sunshine yellows and bright greens and just all the colors that might not be best suited for like fall or winter. So it's definitely a really creative time for me. So, okay, let's start with, I will go ahead and share all of the, I'll go ahead and share all the colorways that I have. So I'll go ahead and just run you through them all on my soft rose base. So that's our most popular base, and I thought it'd be fun if I started with like the best sellers because everyone on Instagram always asks me like, what are the best sellers? What are the best selling bases? And I think it's really fun that you guys like love hearing those analytics. I love tracking them as the collection is going. It's kind of a fun game that Devin and I play every collection. It's like, what do you think the best sellers are going to be? And did they become the bestseller? And most of the time we are both completely wrong, except for this time. I got one of the bestsellers right, which I am really proud of because I was like, I'm gonna get a bestseller right. And one of them I feel like I kind of made a bestseller, which is really funny because Beachcomber was not selling. It was like at the bottom of the chart, and I was like, that makes me so sad. Everyone's sleeping on Beachcomber. Like, I love Beachcomber. And it was funny because I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start sharing it in my stories, sharing it in Color Combos, just posting about it. Like, I really want everyone to see how fun it is and how beautiful because I love it so much. And now it is number 7. So you guys made me proud. I was very, very happy to see that Beachcomber climbed kind of to the top of the charts. That was exciting. But anyways, it was just fun. But one of the colorways, so the number 1 best-selling colorway, you guys should make a guess. Think in your head, what do you think would be the best-selling? Well, those of you that have seen the collection, obviously. It is Ice Queen, which is so fun. So this was one that I did not anticipate to be the bestseller at all because it already sold so many sets for Advents. It kept us busy for like, I think 4 days, which was like, wow. And I dyed so many of these Ice Queen skeins. And so I was like, everyone surely doesn't want Ice Queen anymore. I just launched it like a few months ago. And you guys blew me away. It is the number 1 bestseller, and it is just so popular. And that really makes me happy because even though this one looks super simple and just very like, it is a very classic shade, which I love. But it was honestly a very hard one to create for me. It took a lot of different tries. It was just very challenging because I feel like it tested my color theory skills a little bit, or a lot. So basically what's really special about this colorway is that every single person out there, all of you that have knit with hand-dyed yarn, that have had maybe colorways that are, like this is a great example. So this is one of the minis in my Suri set. And you can kind of see, I guess, better from a distance, it has a bit of a yellow glow to it, a little bit of a yellow hue. So all yarn has that kind of lanolin stain, or whatever you want to call it. It's like a little bit of a yellowed kind of look to it. And I think with some colorways, like with this, which already has yellow speckles, I think it really is kind of softens it and makes it kind of like a buttercup yellow, or like a soft vintage yellow, a vintage white is what I meant to say, with buttercup yellow kind of vibes. Anyways, kind of like a creamy white, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so I think that could be really fun depending on the colorway. But for projects where you need to have like an MC that's white, or you want to have like a strand of Suri and you want to have like a white flow throughout your entire sweater. Little things like that, that was what I would feel like, oh, I really want to have a white option that's on all of our bases, something that's just perfect for blending colors. So that was literally the why behind this colorway for me, was what is a colorway that I can dye that is just a true white tonal, that is a go-to staple for big projects, big palettes, things that require blending, and I'm so happy with the results. So this is a true white. You can literally just see it glow. It just, I feel like as I hold it here, just like probably is just, I don't know, just glowing off the screen, I feel like. But it blew my mind how just glowy it is for being a white. Like, that's not even a word, but it fits. It has a lot of silver undertones to it, so it's definitely more of a cool toned white. I had to overcompensate a little bit with kind of that silvery feel to it. And so I had to kind of color correct the yellow tones out, and it was a really fine line of not having anything that had, like, you obviously color correct with blue, and it was really hard to find a blue that didn't have a touch of yellow in it, a touch of the aqua kind of color. So there were so many that turned out to be like kind of white, but it looked like a kind of sea foamish undertone. Like, that's, again, not another word, but I hope you guys get what I'm saying. But yeah, it just kind of looked like aqua, and I was like, that's not the vibe. Like, I need to keep trying. Really happy with this though. It's such a fun blending color, and I really want to get sample knit a like the new cardigan that Park Knits just designed. It is beautiful. It's, I think, called the Crumpet cardigan. I don't know if that's exactly the right word. It's something tea inspired. I will link it down below in like a random section. Probably at the very bottom. It might just be called random things, because I'm just name dropping all these things that I think would be really fun with the collection. So maybe Devin will link it there when he does the show notes. But it's so beautiful. It's like, again, a very lacy cardigan, incredibly classic, just mega timeless, and it's, again, perfect for Ice Queen. So I love Ice Queen. I hope you guys, or I know you guys love it, but like, if it's new for you, I hope you love it as well. So again, perfect blending color, and I'm going to be probably filling. I have a cube right here that you can't see the top of, but it already has a lot of Ice Queen of Rose Cloud, my Suri base, in there. And I think I'm gonna fill it all the way up, because I've got my cardigan, I've got my Pinguono that I really want to use with it. And there was another project that I was thinking that Ice Queen would fit the bill for. So again, I might just have a whole cube of Ice Queen, because who doesn't need a white? But yes, it looks beautiful. The only thing I will say about this is make sure that when you are checking this colorway out, if you purchase it on my, this is a different colorway, but if you purchase it on my Rose Lace base, which is a lace weight that is BFL, make sure that you look at the photos, because that is the only base where it is very yellowed, because this undyed starts out a lot more of just a pure buttercup yellow. So it's the same dyeing, but it just is a little bit more creamy for sure. So just make sure you look at that. I just wanted to kind of point that out. I don't have a skein with me because I love it on Cloud and I love it on Soft Rose. So I'm a little bit behind. I've been yapping for so long about all of these things. So I'm gonna kind of rapid fire show you these colorways. So of course we have Beachcomber. We have to start it out with this one. Maybe you guys can help me get this to like number 4 or something. Just kidding. But yeah, I love the sections. You can really see that bright blue. And that has all those speckles, very corally. I don't know if you can see that kind of hot pink throughout there, but the colorway that pairs with it, the tonal that goes with it, is my Spitfire tonal. So Spitfire is a like neon red, but it's very pink. It is just such a fun pop. I actually like loved like creating this one because it's just such a cool color to have on yarn, because it's so bright. It's a little bit more pink in real life than it's showing up here. It's not quite as red, but it's definitely right in the middle of like pink and red. And I was inspired to create this because I saw the prettiest photo of a bookcase that was painted this color on Pinterest, and I was like, oh, I have to make that into yarn now. And then the next one is Storyteller. So this is my Storyteller colorway, which is just one of my favorites. This is one of the other bestsellers, so I think this is ranking number 2, or 3. I can't remember which one, but it is right there below Ice Queen, I think. And I can definitely see why, because it is just so beautiful. It is the prettiest shade of a light dusty periwinkle. It has a lot of bright accents of like bright magenta. It has a touch of like golden yellows, sunshine yellows, a little bit of aqua, seafoam green. It has the prettiest speckles of a very vintage feeling, just very, very beautiful, kind of washed over the entire skein, of a kind of like dark taupe color. So I think that taupe speckling throughout makes it just look very neutral in a way. And this is again what it looks like knit up. I'm gonna kind of like step in front of the camera so you can see it a little bit, but you cannot see the glow, I think, in this podcast, but it's just beautiful. And I love the detail around the cuff. I just think that's so fun. And I think like, I don't know if you can see the, I don't know if you can see the sparkle in there or not, but there you go. I think you can kind of see the sparkle. So anyways, I love Storyteller, and Storyteller has been selling a lot with my tarot colorway. This one I dyed actually a few, I think like in my, I did an in-stock drop right before we left on our trip, and it was inspired by little things that I love. I just did kind of random things, and it was super fun. It was kind of just like a brain dump for me in the form of color. But taro was so fun because it is inspired by like my favorite drink. I love getting taro flavored boba tea, and after a long day of work, that is literally what I do every time. I feel like I just love getting to like, I don't know, the days where they start at like 7 and go to 7 and it's just like a long 12-hour day. It's like boba tea would be so fun right now. And so yeah, that's always my go-to boba tea order. And so again, it just looks beautiful with Storyteller. So you can kind of see that there. So I was saying on Instagram, if you are on the fence about purchasing from this collection because there's so many options and you don't know which ones to get, I would go with these two. I would go with Tarot on Cloud and Storyteller on Soft Rose, and knit yourself a fun hat or something. I think that would be so fun. But yeah, these would be my 2 top recommendations if you're on the fence about what to buy with this collection. These are just like my top 2 picks for sure. And then the colorway that I had paired with Storyteller is my Minimalist color. Minimalist is, again, just the perfect sage green. I feel like it has a lot of different layers to it. So it starts out kind of like a, almost like, again, buttercup yellow. I don't know what it is with that color lately, but I know butter yellow is literally everywhere right now. Such a trend, and I have been, I guess, using it as my like base coats, but I'm tempted to dye it up like a full butter yellow at some point. But anyways, it has kind of, it starts a little bit yellow, and then after it starts yellow, it has a beautiful blue wash over it, which is super fun. And that blue wash is just beautiful. So that blue wash makes it look really like a sage green, which is super fun. And then we have Early Riser, which I think is number 5 from the collection. So Early Riser, it has a beautiful like kind of a gray, more of a gray toned base. As you can see, it has a little bit of periwinkle in there as well. And then it has just really bright fuchsia speckles. It has a lot of like really fun pops of like a true like kind of alpine blue. So it kind of gives me like really bright forest vibes, honestly, which I think is really fun. And then it has a lot of really interesting speckles that are like accents, and they're very subtle pops, but they're still there, and I think they're so fun. It has like a really beautiful mauve color, and it has a yeah, just beautiful mauve color. And then it just has a lot of really bright brown sections as well. And I know it's kind of funny that I say bright and brown together, but they really are bright and brown. And so I love how that looks with my Sunshine colorway. So Sunshine is like my perfect shade of neon yellow. It is just beautiful, and it has just a lot of really fun undertones to it. So if you've been following along on Instagram, you'll know that I've been trying to create this shade for literally so long. I think I tried to create it like 2 years ago was the first time I tried it, and I could not get it to be a beautiful yellow that was cool tone, but it didn't look green. And it was so hard, like I was so hard. So I can kind of show you, like it's picking up pretty true to life right now. It's a little bit bright. There we go. So it's a little bit darker, I feel like, in real life, but it's still very much a glowing color. As you can see, it just kind of blows everything out. But anyway, Sunshine is really, really high up on the bestseller list as well, which was so fun. I think there's gonna be a ton of really bright pops of hats and mittens that are gonna be coming across my feed in the months to come with this one. Definitely like the perfect highlighter yellow. And then we have, I think those are all the top sellers that I can remember. These are also pretty popular as well. So this is my Maximalist colorway. So Maximalist is one that I created because I was so inspired by just like, I don't know, I love minimalism for like other rooms in the house. I feel like your main living rooms are like really fun to be very like kind of streamlined, like kind of empty spaces that you can fill easily, and just that kind of beautiful aesthetic of just like space, I guess. But when it comes to like little side pockets of rooms, like maybe it's your winter garden or your library or your I don't know, art studio. Like my art studio is going to be completely maximalist. I want to just have a gallery wall on this side of the room, and I want to just have like really bright accents up above these shelves and like just go all out into maximalism. Like I think it'd be so fun. And I love that like the maximalism trend is kind of creeping its way back a little bit in certain fashion styling choices like accenting and jewelries and such. But I just really think it's so fun. So I was inspired in particular by the really dark, like almost like a dark cobalt blue bookcases that I was seeing on Pinterest. And I loved how inside these bookcases, there were obviously books, but there were also just really bright pops of like candlesticks or other sort of like decor statements that were like subtle, like from a distance. But when you walked up, it was so much things, like so many things to look at. So I don't know, I was just like really inspired by that. I was like, I need to capture something that has that really dark blue, but it has so many bright pops of like the pinks and the greens and the chartreuse and just like all those colors that complement cobalt blue so well. So anyways, this one's been super popular on this base as well as, which is my soft rose base, as well as my cloud base. So I think it was super fun with this. And I want to kind of take a mini break right here and show you these two and show you the sample that I had made out of maximalism or maximalist. It is so beautiful. So I love this. So this is the colorway that I used. So this is on my Rose Aran base as well as my Rose Cloud base. They're showing a lot more true to life. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of, yeah, very like rich, saturated, incredibly vibrant colorway. And this is Felix sweater. I think it's so beautiful. I love this design because it has such pretty lace work on the raglan increases, which I think is such a nice touch. And that's something that's, I think, pretty unique. So my phone cut me off when I was chatting because I ran out of storage, which is just classic, but I think it got itself worked out. So I forgot where I was because it's been a hot minute, but I think I had just finished chatting about my maximalist colorway and sharing all the things that I love about that one. And I wanted to show you its tonal counterpart, which is selling so well, which is fun to see. This is Socialite, which is super fun. And I guess I should chat with you guys about the theme. I just realized I'm listing off all these colorways, assuming you have seen me on Instagram, and need to be better at explaining, but the theme behind the Storyboard Collection is something that we have just been thinking about for a while and something I've wanted to do for a hot minute, and it's been super fun to kind of make this theme come to life. So the theme is, again, Storyboard Collection. So it's basically a lot of these different ideas or like character tropes or kind of personalities, and it's just about kind of capturing those highlights of your life or maybe someone else in your life. Like, for instance, like you might know someone that just is a maximalist, like they just love all the colors or they love all the things around them. Or maybe you know someone that's like a minimalist with a very refined style or palette, or like someone that's an early riser, someone that loves the sunshine, or maybe you're all of these. Or if you're an ice queen, just a lot of really different different kind of themes. Or if you love beaches and go with beachcomber. So I just kind of wanted to kind of like capture all of these different types of people that you might come across in your day-to-day life, or someone that you just really resonate with. Like there was a comment on my beachcomber post that really stood out to me that was just so special, and it was someone that actually lives in Italy that loves going to the beach, and she's like, I have to buy this colorway because it reminds me of, I think she's in Florence. And I was like, that is so cool, and it's just such a moment for me to get to like look at those comments and be like, it's someone resonated with it and loves it, and that just means the world as an artist. So thank you so much if you're watching. So yeah, it's just kind of like a fun, very abstract theme for us, and I really wanted to go with an abstract theme because I just love having all the color play, getting to experiment with all the different colors, and that was just really special to get to do. And it reminded me so much of the like kind of the past era of yarn dyeing. It was right when I kind of got into things, so I don't remember it like it was like the beginning of my yarn dyeing journey, but like in 2020 and like kind of pre-COVID, and just how everything was a lot more like, I don't know, I feel like creators would come out with a colorway inspired by something that was more of an abstract idea and less of like a whole theme, again, about like a specific pop culture thing or a specific place. And it just feels really cool to kind of go back to those roots and be like, just picking something that is kind of abstract, but it creates something, and it's just cozy. And like my homebody colorway, like I used to have a homebody colorway that looked not very similar to this at all, still kind of a mauve color, but I used to have a homebody colorway in like 2020, and I was like, oh, let's bring it back, like that would be so fun. And so yeah, I just love a homebody. And then I was sharing, oh, that was on the cut that didn't make it. I recorded for probably 5 more minutes and it didn't make it on the recording. So let me backtrack a little bit. So this is my main character energy colorway, and it is just such a beautiful earth tones brown, but my favorite part about it is all the bright pops of color. So it's just a very multi-dimensional colorway. It just has a lot of just different pops of color. We have like some woodsy greens in there, some blues, of course all the pinks, and it is paired with my homebody colorway. And I love how this is kind of a bit of a monochrome pairing because we have so much of the mauve and purple in main character energy, and homebody really mirrors that. And homebody also has a lot of like really gold sections. And I paired it with a speckled colorway, which is kind of funny, I guess, because I don't think I've done that before. But it's a speckled colorway that's incredibly subtle. It has just a little bit of dimension to it. So I think that's super fun, but it has quite the process for dyeing it because it's an interesting kind of technique to be able to get it to where it just has a little bit of speckles, but it still has like a lot of tonality to it. And I just really love how it pairs with main character energy. And you can see how it kind of micro pooled a little bit, which is cool with those micro stripes. So Lee, if you're watching, I love the socks you made, and they're way too pretty to wear. I don't think I'm ever gonna wear these because it is just, oh, they're so beautiful. So these are main character energy and homebody. And then the next combination, one that I've kind of already shared with you a little bit, is my, let me grab these two. Here it is. So we have Daydreamer. So this is one that I am super excited about because I'm going to be having a sample knit out of Daydreamer in the porcelain sweater, which is such a beautiful pattern. And I just cannot wait to see what it looks like. But you can see that it just has very, very fine micro speckles throughout. And I love how it looks on cloud. Again, it's just such a like beautiful, beautiful combination. And then it is paired with my habitual colorway. So this is perfect for those of you that love your routines and just love going to like maybe your favorite coffee shop and just getting like your usual. I think it's just super fun. And this one is basically blended with so many different colors. So it's a little bit pricier than our other tonals because there's so much involved in creating this one. It has a lot of like really rich reds in there. It has a lot of blues. It's very much a custom blended purple colorway, but it also is, it wasn't made with like a true blue or a true red. So it kind of created a muddied effect, which I love. And I feel like that brings to life those kind of coffee shop vibes and like kind of cafe culture throughout. The colorway is kind of fun. It's a lot more of like an almost espresso brown base, which is really a soft glow to it. And then I have the next one that I'll share, which is my Diva colorway. And this colorway, I just thought it was like such a diva shade, so fun, so bright and poppy. And it's a kind of neon pink, but it has a lot of like micro speckling throughout. It has some of that periwinkle, some of that like earthy green, kind of like that bright chartreuse color. And this is what it looks like on my soft rose base, and this is what it looks like on cloud. And then I've paired that with my self-starter colorway. I almost named it self-starter. Duh. This is called On Repeat. I can't believe I messed that up on here. Oh my goodness, you guys. So this is called On Repeat. I don't think I've ever done that before. Oh my goodness. On repeat, because I wanted to just capture that moment of having your favorite song on repeat, and I just thought it was like such a fun bubblegum shade of pink that just is such like a pop star shade. And then we have that paired with Diva, so I think that's super fun. And this colorway always reminds me of my friend Carly. I feel like she says the word diva, like calls everyone in her life a diva, just loves that word. And I mean, I know it's not like a unique word by any means, but it's just, I don't know, it just reminds me of her, so it's special. And in these two colorways, I have another sample. Let me find it. Okay, are you ready for this sample? I love it. So this is a hat, and well, obviously it's a hat, and I'm blanking on the pattern name for it. I think it's the Manhattan hat. I can't believe I can't remember the name. I'm pretty sure it's the Manhattan hat. I will have it linked down below. But I will go ahead and try it on for you guys. It is just so fun, and it's just so cozy. You can see it just has such a nice form to it. It is such a bright pop. I think it would be gorgeous along with like the Storyteller sweater that I have on, and I think that that will definitely be a fit that I style when it gets colder. I kind of picked samples that were very wintry feeling with this collection because I was designing it in March and February when the weather was super chilly, and so I just think that's kind of kind of fun, even though it's getting a little bit warmer. But yesterday here it was like 50 degrees, so it's still kind of hat and sweater weather in my opinion. But I love this. This is going to be such a wearable piece because I have so many things in my wardrobe, and I don't know if you guys can relate. Things that are just like bright pinks to soft muted pinks to shades of mauves to shades of like even like earthy greens that have a little bit of pink in there. Like I will have sweaters that are like green and pink, and it's like, of course you have to have a hot pink hat to go with it. Like it's such a classic design, and I love how big it is to have this folded brim effect because I think that is just such a beautiful way to style it, and it's also very practical because it's super warm. And I just love this hat. So definitely going to be a staple when it gets colder. Like I think this will genuinely match anything. And not only that, but isn't hot pink kind of like a neutral nowadays? I feel like people wear hot pink, even guys, like just wear hot pink, go out running, or just, I don't know. It can be casual, it can be dressed up, it can just be all the things. So yeah, I just love this so much. So this is using Diva and on repeat. I almost said self-starter again, you guys. Yes, I love that one so much. And then we have the next one. I'll just go on with more of the pinks. So this one is Couturier, and I just love that because it was just such a perfect shade of pink for this one. It is kind of a cool tone pink. I think that's showing up a little bit better now. Maybe if I kind of get rid of that one, yeah. So it's just a very cool tone pink, and this colorway was in my Rosé mini set. So this was one that was a part of these minis. This is like how it looked knit up in my color wheel blanket. And I just love this shade. It is the prettiest shade of like a baby pink. It doesn't have that yellow undertone, which is a really big pro for me. I love that. It also has like very slight micro speckles throughout, which I think is super pretty on certain skeins. It's just kind of like a fun surprise. And so this is kind of like up close what it looks like. So I think this would be beautiful in like a cabled sweater. I think this would be beautiful in this design. Honestly, I think that'd be so fun. And then this is paired with my Wanderlust colorway. So this is again a very cool tone pink. This is a lot more like fuchsia than it's showing up. It is a lot more cool tone. It's not quite that red. Maybe this will show up better. Yeah, kind of like back here, I think. So you can kind of see it a little bit better here, but it's just such a pretty shade. Yeah, this is a lot more true to life. You can kind of see it. This is still looking red, but this is like the colorway. And so I think it's just super fun. Again, very light speckling. And so these would be really beautiful in so many different projects. Now we're going to have a major vibe switch because the rest of the colorways are a lot of greens, which is fun. This one is one of my favorites. I might snag these two skeins and add them into my stash, but this is my green thumb colorway. And I think now that we have a house, I might try my hand at being like having a green thumb again, because I tried it in our apartment and I was not very successful. But you can kind of see it has just beautiful speckles throughout. And it has like a very like minty kind of seafoam green base, but it has a bit more of emerald green than it's showing up. It's not quite as blue as it's appearing, but I love it on Suri. I think this would be a beautiful no frills sweater. So if you love greens and that's your go-to color pattern or palette, I would definitely recommend green thumb. It's so beautiful and I love all the different speckles. You can kind of see that it's just full of like so much dimension and interest. So that's super fun. And we have that. It is paired with, let me see. I have so much yarn everywhere. But okay, here it is. So it's paired with my Ice Queen colorway. So those were the two that I had go together. So it's just kind of like a very fresh, very springtime feel with these two. So we have those. And then our next combo is Anti-Hero. So this is the only one that has a bit of a Taylor Swift feel to it, because I was so inspired by her Anti-Hero song and I felt like it fit the theme of Storyboard so well, of just being kind of like that, just kind of the trope of like kind of being the not your usual villain, but just a misunderstood person. I love a lot of the different lines in that song. So anyways, I loved Anti-Hero and I loved the song obviously, and I loved getting to kind of create something that felt really moody, something that's very multi-dimensional throughout. And I even have like a little bit of purple in here because I love like the scenes in the music video where it's like that really bright purple glitter, and there's nothing that's like a fluorescent purple in here, but it just kind of feels like it would fit that really, really well. So we have Anti-Hero, and that is paired with my Down to Earth colorway. And Down to Earth is a very unique shade for me. It is something that I have not done a lot of, and it is one that I am obsessed with. You guys, I used to hate olive green, and there is something about this though that is just mesmerizing to me. Like, I am obsessed with this shade of green, and it is such a great guy shade. Like, Devin loves this shade of green, and there's very few moments when I feel like he loves a color and wants me to knit him something out of it that I would feel like, oh wow, I'm really inspired to knit you something out of that shade, because it's just not my go-to, because I don't typically love like really earthy crunchy shades or shades that don't have pink. But this one I think is beautiful. I love Down to Earth. It is such a grade kind of muted green, and it still is super saturated, and I think that combination of the way that those two ideas play off each other really have me captivated with it, because it's just, yeah, it's so like muted but really dark. So it's not just like a pastel grade green. It's a rich earthy green, but you have that gray, and I just love it. So anyways, I love those two together. And then I think we're kind of nearing the end. We just have a little bit of cloud. I just wanted to show you guys what Anti-Hero on cloud looks like, because look at that glow. Like, if you want glow, seriously, Storyteller on soft or DK, and then Anti-Hero on like cloud. So much glow. And Ice Queen, obviously Ice Queen on everything except for rose lace. Then the last thing I wanted to share with you guys are the mini skeins. I wanted to show you guys these. So this was the thing that I was hinting about at the beginning of my video when I was sharing the new blanket that I want to cast on. So I have all of these minis. So for the first time ever, by popular request, we have mini skeins featuring the entire collection. So all 20 colorways from my Storyboard collection are available on 20 gram minis in mini skein form, available on my plump rose base and my soft rose base. So I have snagged a set on my plump rose base, which is a 2-ply. So it is just a beautiful, beautiful blend. It's 2-ply. It's a little bit less yardage, but that's because you guys get so much plump factor, hence the name. I'm so excited. So I have a blanket idea in my mind. It's from Discord, no shock to anyone, and I want to start it. And my plan with these is, if you go to this listing, it'll be linked down below. So go to my website. When you click on the listing, swipe to the second or third page when you see them all laid out flat, and they're kind of like going in this direction, like this. You'll get what I'm saying when you get to the website. So that is the way that I want to style the color patterns for the blanket, so that I'll be knitting with like the colorway, and then it's coordinating tonal. And then I will be knitting with like the one that was directly above it in the next row, so that the colorways match each other in the way that I had it styled in the photo. Just because I love, like, I've never created a collection where I've loved how not only they play with the ones next to each other, but also how they coordinate with the ones that are directly above it. I've just never had that happen in a collection before. So I really just want to like have a blanket that's little tiny mitered squares, using like a 20 gram mini held double, so like a beautiful DK weight blanket full of squares that are going to be collection samplers for maybe the next like 10 years. Who knows? So I just think it'd be so fun. But these are just the happiest minis. I couldn't decide really what I wanted to keep from the collection myself, and I just went with this because it's such a great thing to like get to just use. These have been so popular. This has literally been selling as much as a colorway, which is like, wow. So fun. This is going to be the year of the minis for us at R&R. And yeah, so just a great way. So if you've seen this entire episode, you've seen everything I'm making, and you still don't know what to grab, head on over, grab some minis, maybe Storyteller and Tarot, and I think you will have an incredible shopping cart. But yeah, anyways, maybe next time you will see me with this blanket cast on and the cerise added to my other blanket, and maybe hopefully split for the sleeves on both of my sweaters. That is my goals, but we shall see if that happens. But anyways, that is it for this episode. This is so long. I hope you guys enjoy this lengthy podcast episode. I don't typically do them this long, but I just had so many things to share. Next time, I will hopefully podcast at a shorter amount of time so I can chat with you guys about our new house and all the life things that are happening. But I will probably chat with you guys post-Italy, which will be fun. So many things to share, and I hope you guys have so much fun with this collection. Please let me know down in the comments what you're going to be knitting with it or making with them, or what colorways you want to shop, what are your favorite combinations, all of those things. I just love hearing all the chatter. Like, I love hearing what your thoughts are about a collection when it is released. And so yeah, thank you so much for following along. I hope you guys enjoyed your stay here, and if you did, please like and subscribe for more content down below. And I will hopefully be back soon. I love catching up with you guys, and can't wait to start reading all your comments. But anyways, I hope you guys have so much fun with your knitting, and I will see you guys later. Bye.